Hey YouTubers, it's me, Lonnie Clark. Love Beyond Extinction Love, not Love Beyond Extinction, Beyond Extinction Love. If you see this video and you like my channel, please subscribe. Please put a thumbs up and make a comment so that the algorithm will think that my channel is worth promoting. I am attempting to get to over 1,000 people. Little inch by inch, I do want to grow my channel. I am going to make a little comment here that I've been stewing on since before the 17th March when this whole Epstein thing blew up. One of the things that really bugs me is that we're so gaslit now. We're expected to just pretend like nobody knew Donald Trump was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Anybody over 50 knew that. I'm 70, and I remember seeing Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein waving at two girls heading towards the Lolita Express. The girls were coming from this direction. Trump and the three rich men were going onto the airplane together to these young girls who thought they were going to have a blast. Now they all looked like 19, maybe 18. They did not look over 20, the two girls. But that was considered normal in those days. That was like the late 90s, early 90s. I don't remember when it was. But it was like, it was reported in the newspaper. Bill Clinton and Donald Trump meets with Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, the gaslighting that is going on in our country is just beyond comprehension. I'm listening to these news reporters now sit on television and on podcasts saying, "Oh, well, we got this Epstein list, and we got we got information, new information, and we've seen new videos." These are not new. They've all been out there for a long time. None of it is new. What is really shocking to me is that none of the reporters are attempting to even talk to the over a dozen women who sued Donald Trump in 2016 when E. Jean Carroll was in her lawsuit and won $5 million. There was over a dozen women who were suing Donald Trump in his first term. And his administration coerced them all into sitting down and shutting up and paid them off. And frankly, if I were those women, I think I would be willing to talk for the sake of our country now, because Donald Trump is a convicted felon and he is a national security threat to our country. Everything he does every single day is a threat to our nation. If we haven't seen that, like, he's turned ICE into the new Gestapo, kidnapping people. People are afraid to talk. He says that Democrats are evil. He's switching it around now, saying that Obama's a traitor. Like, this is the one thing you can count on Donald Trump doing. He always outs himself for his crimes. On an unconscious level, he always outs himself. But I'm fit to be tied over the fact that Democrats and journalists and people who are outraged about the possibility that there is a sexual predator. Frankly, he's a convicted sexual predator. He was convicted in the E. Jean Carroll case, and the New York judge said if this was any other state, it would be considered rape. So the fact that it's even a conversation speaks to the gaslighting and the Tokyo Rose effect that we have in our country. I mean, ONN and Newsmax, they get to pump out lies 24/7 and brainwash people. They know they're lying. They know that Donald Trump is a convicted felon. They know that he assaults women. Anybody around Trump knows that he assaults women. No doubt he's still assaulting women around him. And everybody's keeping it quiet. I mean, what did he say to Dan Bongino to make him stick around? Or to Kash Patel? I mean, is it really, do we really have like a Putin-style government, a mafia-style government where people are afraid of being thrown out the first floor windows and being said that they unalive themselves by throwing themselves out the window? Evidently, I think that's what Blanche did that. Attorney Blanche, I don't know his first name, but he was Donald Trump's attorney during the E. Jean Carroll case, and now he's some district attorney for the U.S. government, and he's going to see Ghislaine Maxwell in jail before she testifies before Congress. And we're all pretending like we don't know that he's going there to coerce her and say, you're going to change your story, or you're going to end up like he did in his cell, which frankly, I don't think he's dead. I personally think he escaped and they killed his double. So that's my opinion, because it all went down too smoothly, if you want that's what the 1 minute is about. I don't think they slipped in there to kill him. I think they slipped in there to knock off his double. That's what I think they did. That's why there's a 1 minute missing. Our government is super corrupt. And it is the Republican Party who, at the behest of Vladimir Putin, they went to Russia on July 4th, 2018. 6 Republican senators, one of them now is the leader of the Senate, to what they said has cooperation. I think they basically got lessons on how to overthrow our government directly from Vladimir Putin. Evidence is in the pudding, right? Because they are undermining our country. I mean, we see young people now. Did you guys see that Jubilee thing with Mehdi Hassan? It's shocking. Young kids actually saying that they think Franco is a decent human being and the Nazis weren't that bad, and it's not that bad to be an open racist. Like, what has America turned into? This is not the America of my youth. In my youth, we came together and, come on, people now. You know what I mean? Remember that song? Love one another. We all it was the love movement. What Donald Trump has brought in is the hate movement. And this thing with Epstein is just off the charts gaslighting. This is the biggest thing that gets to me. We're supposed to click our heels and pretend like we just don't know. We hear journalists all day long saying, oh, it's new evidence that Donald Trump's on the list. Like, we need to read it in paper that Donald Trump is on the list. Why not ask the women, the over 1,000 people that went to that island? Find the 1,000 people that went to that island and ask them. Have them come in front of the camera. You can cover their faces. You can cover their identities. But instead, we're like, oh, nail biting. Are we going to get the list? Is it going to be accurate? There's actually human beings alive who went to that island to have fun. And there was people who went to that island to get paid. And they're all alive still. And that brings me to another point. This whole thing about villainizing the people that went to the island. In those days, it was not a bad thing to go to the Jeffrey Epstein Island. They were considered fun parties. It was a fun time. All the rich people went there. And in those days, it wasn't considered horrible that older men wanted to take up with young women. In fact, it is still not. There's a whole industry, the sugar baby industry. There's a ton of them on, what's that app that's called, I don't know. There's an app where people can go online and basically have pornography, and people pay them money online. They make a lot of money. Just Friends or just something. I forget the name of it. I mean, the only reason that people actually are upset about Epstein and this list is because they were frothed at the mouth, because they wanted the Democrats' names to come out. They didn't want Donald Trump's name to come out, and they still don't. They still defend him. That's why they're deflecting from it. But there's over 1,000 people who were victims. People who were paid to be there. Women who went there who thought they were going to get an opportunity in a modeling career because Jeffrey Epstein ran a modeling agency. So it's interesting how the definition of what a sexual predator has changed. Because 25, 30 years ago, you weren't considered a sexual predator if you were a man 50 years old wanting to have sex with a 20-year-old. it was illegal to do it with anybody under 18, and kind of an extra thrill. A lot of them did that. But I don't know any woman who has not been assaulted in our culture. Well, I know maybe a handful of women. I mean, being a sexual predator is considered normal in our society. You can look at it by what happens when a woman goes to the cops and says, I've been sexually assaulted. You know what happens? They lose her kid. It doesn't get tested. How many tens of thousands of rape kits are sitting there untested in every single city? How many men have been assaulting people and nothing ever happens to them? If they do, they get a slap on the wrist. They get probation, because we've even heard judges say that. Well, we don't want to ruin a guy's life for this unfortunate incident because he had a lapse in judgment. This comes from the bench of the United States courts. We've had that said. So this whole business about, this purity test of, it's ridiculous. It is so annoying to me as a woman. Like when I was 12, a priest tried to kiss me and I ran out. When I was 14, a babysitter guy tried to hit on me and I was scared. I didn't know what to do. And frankly, it was confusing because he was cute. I wanted to kiss him, but he was a married man. Fortunately, his kid came out and interrupted us. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what would have happened when I was 14 if that child had not woken up. When I think I was like, 21, 22. I took a ride from a bus stop because I was running late for work, got into a car with a stranger, and he started heading for the ghetto, and I had to jump out of the car. When I was a single mother, I had a neighbor come to my house and refuse to leave. I had to fight him off. I had to call the police. I know very few women in this culture who have not been assaulted. SA is normal in this country. And to pretend like Jeffrey Epstein is some anomaly is just the most annoying thing to me. And all these people that act like, he was the unusual one. No, he's not. No, he's not. Not in this culture. Why do you think Diddy had all those parties? Who do you think went all the Diddy parties? All the super rich people. And women are coerced into cooperating. And you're made to feel bad if you object, or your career opportunities are limited. Like, it just goes on and on and on. But you know what we haven't seen in all of this? We haven't seen the journalists pursue the 1,000 people that went to that island and were, quote, victims. We haven't seen any interviews from any of those women. We're waiting to see it on paper. We need to know for sure that Donald Trump was there. We know he was there. It's not, he lived right down the street. I think you guys get my point, but just the gaslighting, I just wish it would end. It is re-traumatizing any woman who has ever been through this, because the denial is off the charts. We need to have an honest conversation about what is going on. And yes, Donald Trump is a SA predator. We know that. We knew it before he got elected. They called it bathroom talk or whatever. He talked about grabbing women by their genitalia, and everybody just acted like, that was him just being a bad boy, bragging. And now you're wondering why he's tanking our economy, turning ICE into the new Gestapo, threatening the free press, telling reporters what a nasty person you are. Have you ever heard of a president who demeans his own people so much as Donald Trump? Like, it is kind of shocking. I'm going to end here because I don't think I have much time on this video. But if you like this commentary, if you like my channel, please subscribe, thumbs up. Please do make a comment. That helps the algorithms on YouTube think that my channel is big enough to start promoting. And if you're a MAGA, I don't mind having a thoughtful conversation, but if you call names and say you're watching MSM and you just start being stupid, making stupid, like brainwashed conversations here, oh, you need to stop listening to MSM, or you've just believed the lie. So tell me your thoughts, your actual real thoughts about why you support that predator. And in my view, he is a traitor. I can't say the word here because I might get, I mean, the censorship in this country is off the charts. We have to watch our words and code things. Which, okay, I'm adaptive. But Donald Trump stole top secret documents and refused to give them back. And in my book, that makes him a traitor. He's done nothing but harm our country. He has not helped our country. Tourism is down. The United States is now on the list of do not travel. People are afraid of being abducted off the street. American citizens who are brown. People are afraid to come in the country. This is not what anybody voted for. And I really hope that Americans will continue to stand up and speak out. And stand up for what America really is for. And that is for democracy, freedom of speech, and goodwill towards all. As Americans, we feel good towards our neighbors. We don't dislike our neighbors because they come from another country. Because frankly, everybody in this country is a foreigner except for the Native Americans who live on their little, they're not even purebred anymore. They weren't even allowed. They were genocided themselves. What is 6 million of them that were genocided? I think you get my message. Put your courage feet on, you guys, and please, thank you for watching this far in. It's 17 minutes in. I appreciate you listening. Like, thumbs up, and subscribe, and make a comment. Ciao. We'll talk again.